Hi. Hi, and hello. My name is Pandrain, and I'm here to do a little short introduction. I actually don't know. I've been uploading videos for a little while now, and somehow I got the idea that how about I introduce myself a little bit more? You know, for those people who want to watch. Okay. There's nothing really much to know about me. I'm just Pandrain, a VTuber wannabe who lives in the Philippines, around the mountainous areas of the Cordilleras. I have trouble talking in English because even though English is a long time subject for the schools here in the Philippines, the problem is that I do not have many such opportunities to use English that I learned in school. I have 3 languages that I'm fluent on. I guess you can say English is one of them, but English would be my third from the 2. Then, using the fluency order, first would be the Filipino language, Tagalog, if you want to say that. That's the national language here one of the national languages here in the Philippines, including English. And then I also speak the native language Ilocano. Actually, it's not the original Ilocano. It's more of the standardized Ilocano that's being used by us, the Igorots, here in the mountains. But we can communicate with the Ilocano region here. This one. I'll bring up a map. Yeah. So we name our languages using the how do you say this? Race is not exactly a race. The region? Huh. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not exactly sure how we do name this. Is it race? No, it's not a race because we're all Filipinos. Because see here, for example, in this area, the Tagalog region, we call the area there the Katagalugan, the Tagalog people. And then, for example, here as well, Pangasinan, we call them Pangasinense. We annoy them with Pangalatot. Then here we are in the Cordilleras, then we are collectively called the Igorots. But we also have, I don't know, maybe it's tribes. I'm not exactly sure, no. I'm dumb. In any case, just a little tidbit about the Philippines. Now, since I'm not really a interesting one to be introduced as, do not really have anything to introduce more. So, you can just think of me as a VTuber wannabe who is stuck in the mountains. But hey, mountains here have bamboo. The best. Especially the bamboo shoots. Oh my god, we have so many dishes there. Now then, what I want to talk about would be my gamer experience. Sorry for the pauses and the like. I'm not, as I said, I'm not really good at English, but I'm trying to speak pure English so I can improve myself, you know. So first, what is my first gaming experience? Okay. We can say I can say that I'm a 90s kid. Not exactly a millennial, but I don't really consider myself a Gen Z either. So I'm just saying I'm a 90s kid, no? And my first console would be, drum roll please. Awkward. And we have this. I don't exactly know what do we call this, but in my place we call this brick game. Can it even be considered a console? But yeah, this would be my very first experience in gaming. Very, very, very primitive. For I'm sure many people out there do not know what this is, but it's a very fun. It's a very, very fun one where I experienced the car dodging game. There's also the Tetris. So many different versions of Tetris. Some where the random drops. It's a single player Tetris, but you can adjust the speed, you can adjust the timing, you can adjust the drops, like something like that. Now next console would be from ano na yun? Okay. Next console, I sadly skipped the Game Boy Advance. We're just a poor boy from a poor family, so we can't exactly afford anything that we want. But I do have some friends who owns a Game Boy Advance, and I played just a little. Playing with the Pokemon Fire Red. Yeah, I think I only played Fire Red before. Now the next one would be the Nokia 3310. It's not exactly a gaming console, but hey, it's got Space Impact, baby. That's all I needed. Snake? Yeah, Snake. It's making me feel nostalgic about those. Wonder if I can find one to be. Maybe I can find one so I can play more. Next one would be. I'm actually torn this one, but I think no, it's the same one. My next one would be the arcade games. It's quite a popular one here in the Philippines, especially when you go to the SM Mall here in Baguio, or there's also the Center Mall where at the top floor, no third, yes, around the top floor, they have all kinds of arcade games that you can play with. There's the Tekken, House of the Dead, Time Crisis, all the best things in an arcade. Sadly, some does not have any experience with them. Hopefully, you can try it. Mobile games, meh. Anyways, explore, my friends, explore. After that would be PlayStation 1. That's the PlayStation 1. I've had many memories with them, especially Monster Rancher 2. Sadly, I haven't played Monster Rancher 1. Never touched that. Then we have Front Mission 3. One of the best mecha games that I've ever played. Turn-based game, but hell yeah. Then my all-time favorite, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. where you get to play as Jill Valentine and Carlos. Yes, sir. It's actually funny that I played the remake of the Resident Evil 3. I don't know why they did not add the subtitle Nemesis, but it's what it is. But it was a very fun game. The thing is, I'm now thinking, how did I have the patience to play Resident Evil 3 before? Because it doesn't really work like the FPS nowadays, you know? Back then we have the what I call the CCTV POV. When every scene in okay, as you control character Jill, of course you have to move it, and then you using the controller, right? Yes, I'm bad at this. Anyways, use the controller, moving Jill from one place to another, and every time you move from one place from one place to another, how they change the scene is that once you enter outside of the frame, you get to the next scene where I don't know how they play. Sometimes it's a top-down view. Sometimes you have a view from the view from the bottom, as if the CCTV fell down from the lamppost, and then it's looking at Jill. And then sometimes the view is just looking from the side, and it is a very static view. So the only thing that's moving there would be you and the zombies. That's it. It's funny. It's kind of funny to think about it, but now that I'm thinking about it again, I'm just, how did I get the patience back then? But hey, maybe it's because I haven't game development back then is not as developed as it is now, so it's just a natural order. It's just a fun game at the time, right? Next would be, this is a little bit tricky for me because I'm not really sure, but okay, I'll introduce this one. I don't know if this is also a thing in other countries, but we have a very special console, in the Philippines. And this is the DVD player. You're asking me. No. Let me explain. Because here, when back then, I don't know if they're just still doing it until now, but back then, almost all DVD players that you will buy, you will get two simple controllers that doesn't have the R1 L1 buttons in the back. Yes, back. The R1 L1 buttons are not available, and most of the time it's either XYAB, or the more suspicious ones have ABCD. And the up down buttons, start and select. That's it. That's all the controls. And what do you think the games are? No, it's not a single game. Of course it's not. It's not even 10. No. It's not even 100. It's the 1 in 1,000 plus games in a CD. You load up the CD in the DVD player, and then boom, your screen is shown with what I learned recently, the family computer, Famicom screen, where you get to select what game you would like to play. And I'm not kidding, it's really exactly that. So I can say that I can say that I have a little experience with Nintendo. Can I say that? I never owned a Nintendo console in my life, so maybe with that experience I can say that I have experienced the Nintendo console. Because see here, it has all the games that there is in the Famicom. And why it's 1,000 plus? Because it's just the same games, and then on the list it's just reskinned, repacked, and it's just repeated over and over and over again. I'm telling you, there are 400 Tetris games there. So for fans of Tetris, maybe you don't know, maybe they grew up from there, So that's it. With that console, the DVD player, I have played Contra most of the time. Contra, Battle City, Tetris also, but I'm not exactly a genius when it comes to Tetris, so it's not exactly my go-to game at that point. Kage! Oh my god, Kage. The nostalgia! I love that game. It's just, it's a priceless game, I cannot explain it in words, it's just an experience. All the 90s kids will know. Maybe. The millennials will definitely know that. And yeah, but it's a very dubious console, but no one's exactly gonna get in trouble at this point in time, because I maybe they were discontinued for licensing issues and stuff like that. Because I'm sure that Nintendo doesn't know about that. In any case, next would be, huh? Ah, actually, yeah. Next would be the PS2. It's since I have a PS1, then I have PS2 as well. I have experienced PS2, but I do not own a PS2. How did I get? How do I get there? PC shop. Generally call them computer shops, but there was a computer shop near my area that rents. This is here how it works. It's like PC banks in South Korea, wherein you go inside, you pay for how many hours depending on the location, but mostly they pay for hours or buy you 30 minutes. You pay, you rent the computer, and then you play the game you want. They're offline, they're online, anything that they have installed there. So in this computer shop, the hook they have is that they also have PS2 consoles, and I'm a bit blurry with my experience here because I don't really have that much money to keep renting PS2 consoles every day, you know. So if I remember correctly, the one of my best experiences there would be the Lord of the Rings game, and I'm not actually it's Digimon, but I'm not sure what Digimon it is. Yeah, it's a Digimon game for the PS2, but I'm not really sure what exactly what Digimon game was it exactly. May have to need to search that later. I'll post it. I'll add a picture of it, maybe if I remember it. Next would be the PC, because my uncle owns two of my uncles have own their PC, and another tidbit here in the Philippines, I'm not sure of the term anymore, but we prefer to live extended family. This. We prefer that because we ensure the safety of our family, and most of the time we only move out of our house if we get married. Since of course you'll need the space, especially when you're planning on a baby, something like that. That's most of the time. That's the only time that you move out of the main family house. And so my uncles, they live together with us, my grandma and my mother and father. They have a PC, and I mostly play there. And the very first PC game that I played is Dota. I'm not sure why, but back then we have back then before Steam got hold of Dota, making it Dota 2. There is a server for online gaming that uses Garena, and then we have the separate client which mainly focuses on games like Dota. I think they also have Gunbound, and then many other things, but mostly Dota is the most filled up server there. And yeah, my uncles taught me how to play the game. That's why I got into MOBA until high school. I think until now, I can say that I'm still in MOBA. But then I got tired eventually because, of course, a kid. You get tired of the same thing repeating over and over and over again, right? So, my next game would be... What was the next game again? Red Alert. I dove into the... I was going to say that it was it's Warcraft 2, but yeah, I think it's the same time now. Red Alert 2, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, the what do you call this game again? Uh was the base game. At least let's just say it's the base game Warcraft, and then Red Alert 2. I played a bunch of them. Then I was introduced to Diablo 2. Yes, Diablo 2. Where that was my very first experience in an RPG. It was a fun. I don't know why. Even though I was just a kid back then, I love the challenge. Even though it's a very hard game, I died multiple times, but I still love the challenge. I still continued until I was able to defeat Diablo. I think I was using either the Javelin Girl or Sorceress. One of the two. No. I played that too, but I'm not sure what I killed Diablo with. I think Sorceress. I'm not entirely sure now. But anyways, after I finished that, and then I was very, very happy. I was cheering in my chair, and then suddenly, whoop, there's an expansion. Bahal. Fuck. Somehow I never finished the game. And then another menu. I thought that it would end with Diablo. It was titled Diablo, for fuck's sake. And then there was actually an expansion, the Baal expansion. Oh my god. I don't know. I just stopped there and went back to Dota again. And then I spread my wings there. Then I also played GTA Vice City. San Andreas when it came out in the Philippines. I'm not sure what time was that, but I'm fairly certain that it was almost the same time as the actual release date of GTA San Andreas. But yeah, since then it's mostly PC. But then no, it's not the last console that I've ever had. The next after the PC would be the PSP. It was my auntie's belonging, wherein she installed the Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Still the best game for me. Better than the original. I don't know. I mean, if you just compare, maybe it's because I was a kid. I was comparing the pixelated graphics of Final Fantasy VII and then the more modern, at the time, more modernized graphics of Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. That's why I think that it was a better game. But essentially later on, when my uncle's PC had a PC version of the Final Fantasy VII original, the pixelated one. And I played it, and it's like, okay, the story's lovely as always. The character designs, pixelated, but it is what it is. But still, it's the combat was, I was a bit shocked about the combat system, because in the original it's a turn-based game, while the Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core in the PSP is more an action-based RPG. So it's a bit confusing, but it was still a very enjoyable experience. Also, actually, in the PC, I also experienced in emulators the SNES, the GBA, the Game Boy Advance, some games like Lucky Luke, and many others. I cannot remember them anymore. But yeah, the next would be the latest would be PS3 and PS4. It's not really something to mention, but yeah. Thinking about my experience with the gaming side of me, which birthed the gaming side of me. Let's say the best ones. Okay, I'll just say the best ones from each console. First, brick game. Tetris. It's just the best one there. I can't say anything else. Second, PS1. Okay, let's say second, Game Boy. Game Boy. Pokemon Fire Red. It's the only thing that I play on Game Boy. PS1. Now I have two actually. I cannot say, no, it's three. It's three, sorry. I'm a very indecisive person, but yeah, the three. No, let's just say the top three, okay? Top three. Third would be Front Mission 3, of the best mecha games that I have played before. Until now, I still want to play it. Hopefully, they get a remake. Front Mission 3. Then second would be Resident Evil 3, Nemesis. I like the game so much, but still, if I had to pick, the first one would be Metal Slug. I cannot disremember that. I cannot remove that from my brain. It's still one of the best games for me. It's the best shooter games. Metal Slug. Memories. The thing is that it's a two-player game as well. So just have two controllers. Invite a neighbor kid. Invite your sister, your brother. Then you get to play fun game. There was also the Tarzan. I don't know why. I finished that game. It wasn't very fulfilling. Not at all. But it was there. So next, what was the next one again? The DVD, the DVD console. Nothing beats Contra for me there. I love Kage. I love the galactic shooter. I'm not sure what it's called anymore. But nothing beats Contra for me there. It's still the best one. It's still the best one. It's the best one game in the DVD. I guess a close second. Very, very close second. Next would be PS2. And I can say confidently that the game I love there is the Lord of the Rings one. PC, I just have too many games there that I cannot actually pick one, but what got me into gaming would be, I would say, Diablo 2. It was just a really good RPG that even as a kid it just mesmerizes me. The story, and the level of progression of the characters. It's a very balanced game where you can't just grind your way into finishing the story, And it's also the first time that I have ever experienced the hardcore mode where I raged. Where I played as a sorceress on the hardcore mode. I died with the Diablo, leaving the last HP, and oh my god. That was a raging moment. Because when you play hardcore in Diablo 2, when you play hardcore in Diablo 2, once you die, your character is deleted forever. You cannot recover that, so yeah, it was one. And then, I guess we'll leave it at that. PSP is it's obvious. Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, still the best game for me. I played Harvest Moon there as well, but it's more of a pastime game instead of a favorite. But still a very good game, a very, very, very good game for me. I even install some Harvest Moon games in the PC right now. The ones that are more recently released. If you got to pick consoles, it's definitely PC. It's not even a console. The best gaming platform for me would be PC. It introduced me to all kinds of different games, the RPGs, the MOBA with the Dota. Then we have the ano bang tawag dun? I forgot what they called, but the one, they ones with Red Alert, then with the Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3. The style of game there, I was introduced with strategy-based games like Civilization 4. There's Civilization 4, Heroes of Might and Magic 4. how come the games with four before were just the best versions of the game? I don't know. I hated the next Heroes of Might and Magic games. There's something wrong. I mean, you gotta play it for the story, but there's something wrong with them. I still love the of Might and Magic 4. In any case, then what other games? So many things, many kind of games. The tycoon games, Railroad Tycoon, yes, one of the best tycoon games in the world, I think. So yes, that is my gaming experience. I don't know why the my recording went to 30 minutes. I wasn't planning that. Should have been a short introduction. One. I don't know. I just keep yapping and yapping. I just running in circles in my voice. But yeah, that's my gaming experience. And if you reached this point, thank you for watching. Please please like the video. Subscribe for some updates, maybe if you want to watch a live stream or some videos, because as I have put in my profile, I will post any kind of videos that I want. I do not want to be a gaming centric. It kind of became a gaming centric because of how many videos I put there, but there I also post some covers. It's not exactly a cover, I'm just karaokeing on my own. So in any case, I hate goodbyes.